He appeared in kitchens, standing barefoot and shivering. He sat at the foot of beds, watching. In the dreams he never spoke. He just looked at them with those wide blue eyes, as if asking the same question over and over. Why didn't anyone see me? Criminal profilers would later say the box was not just a container. It was a statement. The choice of a retail carton, something associated with domestic normalcy, suggested a killer who wanted to place the child back into the stream of ordinary life, to make him look like a product returned without a receipt. There was no attempt to bury him. No attempt to hide him permanently. He had been left where someone would find him. Which meant, perhaps, that part of the killer wanted discovery. Wanted the world to know. Wanted the child to finally be seen. Decades passed. The detectives died or retired. The city changed. The photograph faded to a historical curiosity, a ghost from a different era of policing. But the boy remained. In 2022, forensic genealogy, technology that had not existed when his body was found, pulled his identity out of the past like a thread through fabric. He had a name. A real one. A birth certificate. Relatives. A history. And when investigators traced his family, they found something that made the old detective's theories feel both validated and more horrifying. He had not been a kidnapped child. He had not been sold. He had been born into a family that lived quietly, legally, in the city, which meant the silence surrounding his life had been even more complete than anyone imagined. It meant the erasure had come from within. The tragedy was not only that he had been killed. It was that for 4 years he had existed in a private universe of pain while the world moved around him, unaware. Children played in schoolyards. Ice cream trucks rang their bells. Parents tucked their sons into bed. And somewhere, in a basement or a back room or a locked apartment, he learned that crying brought punishment, that hunger was normal, that hands could be used not for comfort but for harm. He learned that he did not matter. Which may have been the cruelest lesson of all. We do not know exactly what happened, but the evidence tells a story. A blow too hard. A body that went limp. Panic. The frantic attempt to undo what had been done. Washing him, cutting his hair, placing him gently into the box as if he were finally being given the care he had been denied in life. In death, he was treated with a tenderness that had never been afforded to him while he could feel it. That contradiction sits at the center of the case like a wound that never closes. True crime often gives us villains we can name, motives we can dissect, endings that restore a sense of order. This case offers none of that. Even with a name, the boy remains an absence. Because the real crime was not just his murder. It was the system of silence that allowed him to live and die unseen. The neighbors who heard nothing. The institutions that never registered him. The family that concealed him. The city that searched for him only after he was already gone. The boy in the box endures because he represents the deepest fear we have about society. That someone can exist within it and still be utterly alone. That a child can suffer within earshot of laughter and traffic and radios playing and still never be heard. He forces us to confront the possibility that evil does not always announce itself with spectacle. Sometimes it is quiet, domestic, hidden behind respectable curtains. Imagine him, not in the box, not on the autopsy table, not in the newspaper photograph. Imagine him alive for a moment, standing in a doorway, looking out at a world he was never allowed to enter. Blue eyes wide. Waiting for someone to notice. Someone who never came.